So, ladies and gents, Marvel released, well, their latest TV show anyway was Wonderman, wasn't it? And this actually looked like a relatively decent program, especially from the sort of, Marvel Disney Plus offerings. This was one of those ones which looked okay. I've not been a massive proponent of Marvel for a long time, whether it be their movies or their TV shows. But this one looked reasonable. The ratings are not great. Now, I've not watched it. I haven't been interested in Marvel for quite some time. I will watch their movies, of course, but I'm not interested in their TV shows. And this didn't grab my attention enough. But what this does say is I think it's indicative of that FOMO, right? Which it was quintessential with Marvel. I like to say that Marvel, at one time, at its peak, right? When Marvel was at its peak, was the water cooler franchise. What I mean by that is like you would go in on a Monday morning into an office and you had to have seen Marvel movies because people were talking about it around the water cooler. Now that's an allegory that we can eke out to every part of society. Basically, everyone had seen it and you didn't want to be the one that hadn't seen it. So it induced FOMO, fear of missing out. People were really there. They were there, present. Opening weekend, or at the very least second weekend, that's what it was. And this is indicative of that going. It's gone. All right, Marvel really has to work for their audience now. And I've said it time and time again, and I'll keep saying it. I think Doomsday is going to bomb. I really think Avengers Doomsday is going to bomb. I think it's going to struggle. Now, I think it'll actually make quite a large sum of money, as in the overall box office will be a large sum, but there's a difference between net and gross. There's a difference between that, and that's dependent on how much money they spent on the movie, which is a lot. So I don't think it's going to do very well. I don't think they're going to bag a whole bunch of profit on Doomsday, but it may serve as a reset. There is that. It may serve as a reset in terms of in people's eyes, but enough people need to watch it for it to be considered that, right? At least successfully. So anyway, I thought we'd just take a look at this because this caught my attention, and I just think it's interesting, right? Having this show do as badly as it has is not good. It's really not good. So newly released Wonderman ratings data basically says, Marvel Studios Disney Plus is terrible. People don't care. So according to viewership tracking firm Luminate, which will be interesting actually when we get Para Analytics and Nielsen's data, but Luminate's on it for now. It generated, Wonderman, 549.6 million minutes watched in its first 10 days on Disney Plus. So it sounds quite good, but it's not really. Okay, it sounds good, but it's not. So, despite arriving with all 8 episodes available to binge immediately, so that matters, right? First 10 days, all of them are there. Every single show is there. Every single episode, is there. And you only do 549 million minutes. Not brilliant. Not brilliant. So, Wonder Man underperformed compared to several earlier Marvel shows that released far fewer episodes at launch. So perhaps most alarming of all is the series fell out of the top 10 entirely in its second week. So basically those that wanted to watch it, watched it straight away and then they went. So it actually goes to show is that they still have FOMO for some people. There is still a fan base for Marvel. It's a small one though. And they came and they went and no one else bothered, basically. So 8 episodes, right? They're 30-minute episodes all at once. Okay, so Wonderman, again, 8 episodes were released. First 10 days, 559.6 million minutes. Agatha All Along, okay, first 9 days only had 3 episodes available. Did 377 million minutes. Now, Daredevil Born Again, because I think there's some legacy characters here that do well. 629.4 million minutes with only 3 episodes first 10 days. That's pretty good, all things considered. Now then you get to the you get to the two at the end, which were like shitpost ones. Ironheart had a 3-episode premiere, 526 million minutes. So Ironheart actually did more than Wonderman, which is mental, but people hate watched it. Echo, 731 million minutes, which was a 5-episode drop, which again people hate watched that, and then people just couldn't be bothered either. So that's quite bad. That is quite bad. So basically, in other words, viewers had more than double the available runtime with Wonderman, but engagement didn't scale accordingly, and that's to do with Agatha all along. It's pretty bad. So second week, show dropped out of Luminate's top 10 entirely, just gone. Completely gone. So it fell below 287.8 million minutes watched for the second week time period. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Now this article points to, MCU TV may have peaked. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think people had the sort of FOMO. They wanted to watch it, and then people just checked out, basically. Loki did pretty well. WandaVision did pretty well. Hawkeye did pretty damn well, actually. It does matter, because, of course, people were locked down at a certain point in time. So people were watching more things. But by and large, if there was still that strong, that sort of strong fan base, that strong incentive, people would want to watch it. And I just don't think there is. I think the box office has declined massively. And I'm not trying to say that Wonder Man's bad. I don't know. It just didn't massively appeal to me. I didn't want to watch it. But if people don't, at the end of the day, even if something's good, you can have insulted the audience so much that you have pushed aside the goodwill that they had for you. So apparently it's a good show, all things considered. I've not watched it, but it shows the wider trend that Marvel, I think, has peaked, and we're seeing the very unfortunately slow death of Marvel right now, because they're not going to let it go. So it's going to be embarrassing as they just continuously release programs that are movies, which do worse and worse and worse, until eventually they have to admit that actually the jig's up. So there you go. Just thought it was interesting.